This TikToker was just deported from Dubai for being a public menace, and now he's facing even bigger problems.
I've been awake for almost 48 hours now. Honestly, I might die of sleep deprivation. Wish me luck.
Well, as you may know, this is Josh Block, a 23-year-old TikToker who gained nearly 4 million followers on his World of T-Shirts account on TikTok for honestly all of the wrong reasons at this point. I did a video on Josh about a month ago where he took his public crash outs overseas to Japan, but here we are again because surprise, surprise, things have just got so much worse. They went from bad to terrible. He's essentially become this extremely slow train wreck that you can see coming from a mile away, headed straight for an inevitable cliff. And on his way there, he's going to cause as much carnage as possible, so it's hard to not look away. If you caught my last update, about a month ago, Josh had a major public breakdown in Japan. Not your average bad day. No, we're talking slamming heads into walls, yelling at strangers, hitting strangers, biting strangers, and overall just a full-on mental breakdown. And yes, I said he even bit a dude. Come on. I mean,
he bit me. What the f? He bit me. Last night we're out with Joshua Block. He bit me. What the? That's pretty cool.
Thankfully, his alcoholism can be transferred by biting people, because then that guy would be in a whole world of trouble then. But of course, a lot of this was recorded and a good bit happened on live stream, so everyone got to witness this firsthand. It even made the news at the time, with TMZ reporting this crazed TikToker who got detained via citizen's arrest. Yeah, you heard that right. Citizen's arrest. He was such a menace over there that some random pedestrian on the street had to snatch him up and go, "I gotta take you into the police station, buddy, because this is just unacceptable."
I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
This one.
And I mentioned this in my last video, but it still cracks me up that Josh is known for doing these screaming bits in the street of New York. But honestly, in New York, no one bats an eye. He's in Japan for like less than a week and he's being escorted to jail. In New York, you already have hundreds of crackheads who do this behavior for the sport. Like, no cameras or live streams needed. They're just built like that. So sadly, that's just a way of life there, and this is also why the likes of like Johnny Somali and so on, they're doing their stunts in Japan or South Korea or so on, so they can actually stand out and get a real reaction. And it also helps them not being choked out on the subway, because sadly that can happen in New York as well. So note to streamers, let's stop taking your BS to countries that don't put up with it, because seriously, how many stories have I covered this year already of you guys getting arrested while live streaming in a foreign country? I mean, it's past ridiculous a while ago. I'm surprised you guys are giving me this much content to be uploading daily for this long. Anyway, after the Japan incident, Josh made his way back home and he just left off right where he stopped. Dude, like, he just kept on going. Same old, same old. Because Josh originally got on my radar after the stuff in Japan, which is why I did my full look into him on my video. And what I found was an absolute dumpster fire. Josh started making content in 2019 with videos like this.
My first viral video was when I ate crickets a few years back. Yo, exotic food check.
And now his normal baseline content is stuff like this.
Have fun in Mexico, loser! I need 400 grand! My hair!
Which is horrifying. Clearly, the latter stuff got him a lot of attention and views, and he just figured out if he just keeps doing that, he'll keep on getting views. Views can clearly be pretty addictive, and it's clear that Josh has been a little bit more than addicted to them, as well as to alcohol and so on. His main problem with alcohol, though, is he himself won't really admit that he has a full-on problem. Like, he admits there's a problem there, but he doesn't admit that he needs help.
Ah! Oh, no! Ow! Come here, let me
Ow!
let me get you.
Help me!
Come here, hold me.
But obviously, his content went from him talking about coffee to that. So how does someone go so quickly from content like this to being arrested in Japan for throwing drinks, kicking, screaming, and even biting people in the street? Well, after reading about some followers' concerns, it might have to do with some pretty disturbing people that surround Josh. So enter Michael Quinn, a so-called influencer who has major influence on Josh's downward trajectory. Michael came in right before Josh turned 21, and if you look at the timeline, that's when things really started to spiral downhill. Because clearly, Josh's habits went from casual to dangerous. His videos, once just crazy, now it's someone with a serious health risk, and Michael was not helping. If anything, he was encouraging it. Josh then started posting posting videos that were more disturbing than funny, showing clear signs of alcohol abuse, even visibly shaking in public.
I think I'll take my whiskey neat, my coffee black and in my bed at 3.
And I mean, at this point, you have a guy who's barely 2 years into drinking, but is already showing signs of severe alcoholism. So after months of public breakdowns, it all came to a head in Japan.
Hey! I think my hair! I ain't part of it here! I think year.
However, even after being detained, Josh managed to flee back to New York City, yet again, avoiding any real consequences. And while all of his antics in Japan could have ended with a wake-up call, Joshua came back and was back to his usual self, getting mad when people in public were saying, "Put the fries in the bag," and yelling at how much money he makes. This apparent very common interaction between viewers and him was even caught on live TV.
From the Mets game, because Josh blocks there, that's him right there, he's on TV. And someone's yelling, "Put the fries," I could just tell. Someone's yelling, "Put the fries in the bag." He's flipping out. This is live too. I can just tell. They should just zoom in on it. He just told him I make 400K. I know his mannerisms.
Can you imagine being such a train wreck of a human being that someone can quote your crazy crap without even being able to hear you? And if you think that guy was just making assumptions and could be wrong, well, you would be wrong.
Yes! Put the fries in the bag! Put the fries in the bag! Put the fries in the bag!
Clearly, he wasn't wrong. Also, I had to share, while reading about Josh at the Mets game, I saw a Reddit post of a guy saying that he also saw him freaking out at the same Mets game and was wondering how a moron like this guy could afford seats like that. In quote, he called him a local kook with too much energy. And clearly, this is true because Josh does have terrible energy. Very recently, he pulled this.
Have fun in Mexico, loser! Have fun in Mexico! Donald Trump is deporting you! Make America great again!
They want a picture, Josh. Josh, would be a nice picture. Love you. That'd be some nice guy. Some love.
Yeah, if that made you feel a way, I promise the irony of it will make you feel better, because Josh was just deported from Dubai. I mean, kudos to Dubai for actually seeing this guy coming and literally locking their doors, because Josh has basically just been causing trouble everywhere he goes. And unfortunately for him, he announced about a week ago that he'll be flying out to Dubai. And of course, his followers immediately raised alarms. Well, why? Dubai is notorious for its strict alcohol laws. And that's definitely the last place a dude who drinks in public should be. Because let's be real, I have a feeling if he actually went to Dubai, he could have ended up in a similar situation to Vitaly. Because drinking is only allowed in designated areas, bars, restaurants, or private spaces with a license. Public drinking or being intoxicated in public is illegal. And the penalties can be pretty severe there, ranging from a hefty fine to actual jail time. So his followers and me were tuned in to see if he was actually going to make it into Dubai. Because let's be real, when has this dude ever followed the rules? But in a way, thankfully for this man, he never made it past the airport. So Josh went on a 14-hour plane ride, and they stop him as he's trying to enter the country, and they send his ass right back home. And Josh is claiming that it's because his followers sent nasty letters about him, but honestly, I don't think the UAE even cares about that. I think they did one little background search on him and was like, oh, yeah, we don't want that here. I'm just saying his internet footprint is enough evidence to keep him out of the country. And that's where we get Josh thinking that he's gonna die from sleep deprivation.
I've been awake for almost 48 hours now. Honestly, I might die of sleep deprivation. Wish me luck.
Just imagine Josh flying 14 hours to cause havoc in Dubai, getting there, then having the gate shut him. Then he has to wait around to be deported. It's just kind of poetic at this point. So after he gets home, a few things happen. Josh doesn't feel like going on stream because he's exhausted, so this scumbag friend of his has a toddler meltdown because he won't get as many donations.
I'm so f***ing frustrated.
He also made a TikTok where he claims that he will no longer announce when he's going somewhere, and honestly, I feel like that might be for the better.
I made it back to the US. I'm back in New York. From here on now, future international vacations won't be announced.
But not streaming with Mr. Bass didn't last for too long, as shortly after they all got drunk together and he made this bad mistake, as he claims that he accidentally destroyed his career by deleting TikTok off of his phone because it's no longer on the App Store.
Once I delete it, I can never get it back. That's not in the app. What have I done? I deleted TikTok. It's not in the App Store. What am I gonna do? I deleted TikTok. It's not in the App Store. My career's ruined. I deleted TikTok. What am I gonna do? It's not in the App Store.
Honestly, I mean, he could just upload videos from his web browser on his computer, but we'll see if he can figure that one out. Here's a message to Josh. I know having your Dubai plans being canceled sucks, but honestly, it was by far the best case scenario for you. I mean, we still don't know what happened to that lady who was going to rebuild Pakistan, so Josh would probably end up under the jail. But this also probably means that Josh is currently looking for another place to cause a scene at, so I'll be on the lookout for updates. And hey, if you're in New York, just go to the Met Stadium because there could be a good chance for you to see him there. But I mean, hey, at least he didn't steal his grandma's car and crash it into a store while live streaming it like this guy did just to see what would happen, because that would be way worse. And honestly, this story is way worse. You should check it out here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh man, I can't wait for pollen season to start. Pollen season, it's kicking. It is kicking. I am already exhausted and my right eye is like super dry, but we shall get through it together. It's gonna get so much worse before it gets better, but